Coach, last Hudson River Derby of the year. Looking back at the last time you guys played, what are you looking to do tactically different to be able to finally get a win in the regular season over them?
Yeah, first of all, we need a very good behavior in our basic principles. So that means to be very aggressive, to be very intensive in our structure, to find the right moment when we can press, and of course then to respect the quality of NYCFC, especially in their offensive behavior, but also in their defense structure. So I expect a very intensive game against them, and from the mental side, of course, in our home stadium, we have to be ready. We have to be ready in our open play, in our ball possession game. So that's necessary against them, especially when they have the quality in their offensive transition. So all the principles which we need, and all the supporters which we need in our stadium, and yeah, we are looking forward, and we are very excited to have this game on Saturday.
Next, go to JJ.
Sandro, you've played and coached in big derbies over in Europe. How would the Hudson River Derby match up to those experiences that you've had before?
Yeah, it's always the same. It's always the same, to be honest. And I don't want to compare now some other derbies. Of course, in Russia, when you're playing with Dynamo Moscow against Spartak, it's a big derby. When you're playing in Mainz against Frankfurt, it's a big derby. So a lot of experience when you're working with Hertha to play against Union Berlin. So it's a big derby. It's always the same with all these emotions which you need, but also to have in your mind to be very clear. I think that's to handle your emotions. It's also to find the right balance. That's also very important in these games. And at the end, to play your game, to respect the opponent as well, and to find the momentum in these games to bring everything on your side.
Go back to Anthony.
Knowing how important the playoff picture is to this game, is there anything from your experience in the past in these tight end of season matchups that you've shared with the team to essentially help them understand how much pressure is on this game?
Yeah, but pressure is necessary when you want to bring your best performance on the pitch. Then you need pressure. That's my experience as a player and also as a coach. But you find what I said, the right balance for handle this pressure. I think that's very important. And I'm not talking now every day about the situation, about the playoff situation, or I'm also not talking now about the derby. So we talked about that, of course. But then in our daily work, in a regular week, in our training session, of course, then is more the focus, more the concentration, what we need on the pitch, and that's it. And of course, in our pre-match meeting, we will talk about the game in this big picture as a derby, how we want to play from the mental side against NYCFC. But it's not now the topic every day, every minute, every second. And I feel it every second. I feel it every minute. This game on Saturday, but it doesn't mean that I then talking every minute about, okay, what does that mean, this game for us, especially for the result or something like that.
Go to JJ.
Sandro, how important is it going to be for your team to get off to a quick start and try to get an early lead?
Yeah, of course, that would be very helpful, to be honest. But the game is 95 minutes, so and we have seen a lot of times, especially in our home games. So maybe when you don't have a great start, then you can also turn the result. This is what we have seen in some games. When you have a quick start, of course, then the confidence is higher. You have the result. Maybe you are coming in the flow, but first of all, you have to work very hard to get the result. And so the game is 95 minutes. And at the end, it would be very helpful to have a great start, but you have time 95 minutes to play in your principles and to play with your intensity.
Next, we go to Dan Forenstein on Zoom.
Good afternoon, Sandro. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Obviously, City played midweek yesterday, lost. What do you have to do to try to make sure they don't gain some sort of revenge for themselves after losing to Miami on midweek?
Yeah, it's always the same. So we can talk before the game a lot about the last game, about the last weeks, but maybe also to talk a lot about the first game when we played in NYCFC on the road in their stadium. So, but when it's kickoff, then you have to show with your first pass, with your first duel, with your first intensive run, with your first sprint, that you are ready. So this is what we can influence when it's kickoff, and of course we know I have seen this game yesterday against Inter Miami. Our assistant coaches, they have seen it as well in the stadium live, and we can analyze everything. And at the end, when it's kickoff, you have to show this with the first duel. What I said.
Next, we go to Gary.
Hey, Sandro.
Hi,
One of the things I was wanted to know if something up is there a concern on NYCFC's lineup that concerns you about the game on Saturday? And second, on Saturday versus Montreal, there was a little bit of a softness in the midfield when Montreal was making the attack towards me, but you bent, but you didn't break. Is that something you want to discuss with the team to try to stiffen up the defense a little bit, especially with a quality forward like Alonso Martinez? Just want to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, we don't have concerns now about the starting lineup now from NYCFC. So we prepare and of course a lot of games and analyze a lot of games from NYCFC. So Martinez didn't play the last game in the starting lineup. Ojeda played as a striker. And then most of the time they have some rotations from the center back positions, from sixth position, then depends who's playing as a left center back. Right back, maybe they change, they have some rotation, we will see. So at the end, we will see it 1 hour before the game. So for us is our preparation clear, what they are doing on the field and their principles in all the 4 phases in the game: defense, offensive transition, offensive build-up, then defense transition, and also set pieces. And the second part is, of course, we analyzed this game against Montreal, but it was for me not how we got the chances against us, against Montreal, was not because of our defense structure or something like that. It was more for our open play, when how we lost in some moments the ball to in a simple way sometimes. And I think then you can see also the quality of Montreal. And when you are looking to the results of Montreal the last weeks. So it's a really good team. So they struggle a little bit to score some goals, and then some moments they concede a little some goals too much in their style of play. But at the end we analyzed, and for me it was not more the topic of a defense structure, it was more our positions when we have the ball and when we organize our rest defense, and also to be ready in our counter press.
Next, we go to Sean.
John, Soccer Long Island Magazine. Coach, danke for your time.
Bitte schön.
Just 2 quick questions. I understand that you met up with a good friend of yours recently, Armin, in the city. Wanted to know how that went. Yes, we have spies everywhere. And also the relevance of Tim Parker of late, and with him being a fellow Long Islander and St. John's soccer alum, what has he brought both on and off the field to you that just may not have been there, or that he brought more of that you had on the team previously?
Sorry, Sean. So the second question was about Tim Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So, and then we have to come back to your first question. I didn't understand, to be honest. So, but the second question is, Tim Parker is how he played the last couple of weeks very well in our organization, our defense behavior. So very aggressive, very intensive, to be very strong in the duels, and also in how he's leading the team in form of the communication. So very important for us. And that's it. And then I want to answer the first question, but a great friend.
Okay. Richard, I understand you met up with, I may be saying their name wrong, Armin Kraz?
Armin Kraz.
Maybe not, I have that information.
That's
Okay.
that's a friend of, or
So I was told. Guess not. Never mind.
I have a lot of friends, but I don't know if they are now in the
No,
city.
I got you. Bad information. Thank you.
Okay.
Next, we go to James.
No, I'm thinking about my friends. No, not that maybe it was my mistake. I don't know.
Thank you, Sandro. It's been Ronald Donkor and Gustav Berggren as your go-to sixes in the midfield as of late. What specifically has Donkor been able to provide with his game to earn some more minutes and responsibility lately?
yeah, for me, it was the first time that they played together, and the last 2-3 weeks they played a lot of times in our training session together. So Ronnie is his profile is that he has the confidence to play in every situation with the ball, but on the other side, and this is an individual topic for him, always to find the right balance to play without risk or to play vertical or to switch to find our open player. I think that's for him very important in his individual development. But his profile is more in ball possession, to have the confidence, but also able to be very aggressive. And both of the Sixers against Montreal, what they did very well was in our box defending. So it was very well in our box defending with our two center backs and penalty spot. Our both Sixers, they did it very well. Not to drop back too deep in some positions, so that was good. Yeah, and now we will see how's the decision now for Saturday, who's playing.
Everyone, we have time for 2 more questions. Coach, first go to Anthony.
Coach, NYCFC is a team that's very good at hitting on the transition. You talked a little bit about not making simple passing mistakes. What does the team have to do specifically in the midfield to minimize some of the decision making so that they don't give away some of those chances?
Yeah, first of all, so when you have the ball, then it's always necessary that you have also a good connection, that you have a good net, of course, when we have the ball, you have first of all in your mindset you want to score. That's clear, and but you need then also to have a good connection, to be very compact with the ball, and that it's necessary when you are doing some mistakes, then with these players around the ball directly to have the quick reaction in your counter press, and also the players on the fast side. They have also then it's necessary to have this ball orientation behavior, because they are important for our rest defense for the next level. Then when maybe with the quality of NYCFC they solve sometimes the situation in your counter press, and of course, and then when it's an open foot, free foot from the opponent, then you have to be ready, especially for the runs from Martinez.
And we'll finish up with James.
Thank you again, Sandro. Marcelo Morales looked good in his first start on the weekend. Is he going to be another potential option to start at the left back position? And we had a couple of conflicting reports come out on Lewis Morgan's status. Can you give us an update on what his availability might be? Thank you.
So Marcelo Morales is an option. So this is then we have to decide on Saturday then. So for his first game he did it very well, and 60 minutes. So we have also to be careful a little bit with the intensity, and but it was a really good step from him, and we will see on Saturday if he's in the starting lineup and Lewis Morgan is out. So he's only able to do individual program on the pitch, but at this moment he can't join the team training session, and that's it what I can say right now. So he's on the field, but it's only individual program.